Hello, everybody. This is Dottie Berry, and I'm coming to you from Blaine, Washington. Wherever you are in the world, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching it in a recording later, I'd like to welcome you. I know that your time's valuable and that you come to learn a little bit about running Google Hangouts is a privilege for me to be here with you. So anyway, let's just kind of get started with some things on what is the purpose of a Hangout. Well, first of all, let me just say this. A hangout can take many forms, and it really depends on you. I mean, what your needs are. So, for instance, tonight I'm doing what's called a training hangout on how to run Google Hangouts. Lots of times you have multiple people here on a training. I sort of call this maybe something of a combo tonight because I have put the participation code in there. If you're here on Google, you see that in the chat box. So what that means is towards the end of the training, if you want to join me and participate, then you can ask your questions live, or I'll be actually looking to see who's written out some questions. So anyway, you can do a training like I'm doing tonight, or you can have a hangout where people are exchanging ideas. And when you do it that way, the person who originates the hangout is one person, and then there can be 9 more people. And it's kind of like there's a row of people down below. Tonight you just see me in this screen. And when you have those other people, then you can exchange back and forth, you can call on them, etc. So those are a couple of things that you can do. You can also use that to introduce yourself, okay? Like, let's say that you just simply want to do it like a short bio type of thing. I don't know, maybe 3 minutes. I'll show you one that I did. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe you have a little bit more to say about yourself. And why would you want that? Well, here's the thing you need to understand about Google Hangouts, and this is really comes down to, the purpose of doing them. Google owns YouTube. They bought them in 2008 for billions of dollars. Now, there was a purpose behind that. When we're talking about what is the purpose of Hangouts, what is the purpose of Google actually, purchasing YouTube? Well, the purpose was that they knew where everything was headed. I mean, they already saw the impact that YouTube was having with people putting videos on. So they wanted to have this platform because in terms of searchable things on the internet, Google rules, and content is king, and the videos are part of content and how we get it out there. So that can be an amazing SEO potential for you. What do I mean by that? Well, if Google owns YouTube, then who do you think they want to give some loving to? Their family member. And so that's what's going to happen. That's a real great thing as to why you want to do some Google Hangouts. And the thing is, within 5 minutes after running your Google Hangout, it becomes what we call evergreen, a video, a YouTube video. Now, just to give you maybe I should back up just a little bit for those of you who have never met me before. And this is the greatest of what I call the high tech, high touch. In high tech, we're using technology wherever somebody is in the world so that you can see this. But the high touch is that, it's like I'm reaching out. I mean, like, let me just give you a virtual hug right now. Reach out to you. Because I'm not a widget. It's not like I can just sell widgets out there and I never have to talk to you. We want to really connect and engage and collaborate and leverage our collective talents. That's how we can work together. So when we do this, then I no longer have to go back and shoot regular videos, upload those videos with my camera into YouTube, edit them, maybe do some of those things. So this is just sort of like the real deal. When you see people on Hangouts, you can sort of look into their eyes and find out, wow, do I think that person is legitimate? Do I not think they are? What do I think about them? So anyway, it's just a great way to really connect with people. So anyway, that's a little bit about why we do these Hangouts. And, again, back to introducing yourself. A good thing to do with that is to maybe have that so that when you meet people on social media, you can actually give them a link to your, introduction video. For instance, if you're on Facebook. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you go to somebody's wall on Facebook. Let's say they've requested your friendship, and you accept their friendship. I don't recommend that you take your intro video and go post on their wall. That's not very good social media etiquette. But what I would recommend you do in that case is maybe use a picture, a quote, or something as you're thanking them for becoming your friend. That's totally appropriate, something that you know, could speak to them in that way. But not a link such as an intro video. But you can come back to a private message, okay, and then that's what you do, is perhaps give them that link with that private message introducing yourself. And what I'm going to teach you after the how to set up the Hangouts is really a little bit more about the strategies. In other words, I'm going to offer you the 7 strategies that I have for getting you ranked and branding yourself on page 1 of Google. But as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So rather than show you how to set up the Hangouts first, I'm going to actually go and show you some results of applying those 7 strategies, because when you see that, I think it's really going to get your attention, and you're going to go, wow, I've got to be doing some Hangouts. So let me just back up a little bit too here in terms telling you a little bit more about myself. I've been in traditional business for many, many years, an entrepreneur for over 33 years. And my tagline is Born to Coach and Google Hangout Maven. That kind of tells you a little bit about myself. But I did coach basketball at the University of Kentucky years ago, and I've just never quit coaching, although I coach entrepreneurs now. So, you know, it's, you know, what I started doing about 6 years ago, though, was coming onto the internet, because I live in a very, very small town. And how am I going to get to know people in this really small town of Blaine, Washington, about 45 minutes south of Vancouver, 2 hours north of Seattle? That's kind of challenging. So I started, and I don't even any longer call it internet marketing, I call it integration marketing, which means combining the components together. So the bottom line is, when you're doing Hangouts, you know, there's different reasons that you might do it. Again, just to repeat this, you might be doing a training informational Hangout like I'm doing tonight, where I'm going to show you how to actually run Google Hangouts. You might do it as an exchange of information, okay? Or you might use it to introduce yourself. In that informational exchange, it might be about a business, it might be about your passion. You know, let's say you have a bunch of people who enjoy skiing or biking together, then that's what it could be about. I know earlier this year we had the 40th anniversary of women's basketball at the University of Kentucky, and while I was there, I did a Google Hangouts with all the ex-players and got little interviews with them. So that was a lot of fun, because, you know, they had never seen anything like that. And I mean, you know, most of us are they're either in their 50s when I coached them, or you know, I'm getting ready to turn 61 in the fall. So, you know, we're of an age where we didn't have Hangouts and the internet and all that kind of thing. So it was a lot of fun for us to do that. But anyway, you can have Hangouts that are private, okay? And you set those up on like a calendar. You can easily do that. You have what's called HOA, which is Hangouts on Air, and you start those up, and you can record those. And that's what we've been doing in the past. If you're on this page and it's the event page, then what I had to do was create a link. But here's something new, and I'm going to show you about the live events, because in the past you could create that event page, but then say 30 minutes to an hour before that, you would actually go and set up the live Hangout, okay? And then you would put that link in where the event page is. Or maybe on Facebook. I'll teach you how to embed things in other pages on Facebook, things like that. But, you know, the bottom line is you couldn't do it ahead of time. Now you can, but you don't actually do it over on Google. You actually do it over on your YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you all of these things. And in those events that you can pre-set up over there on your YouTube channel as a live Hangout event, you can set that up as public or unlisted or private. So that means you could literally have an event page just like we're on right now, which is public. You could have an event page like that, but have it unlisted or private, okay? And I'll go ahead and show you about that. And then when we actually get to showing you how to hook up Hangouts, you have to understand, you have to have, you have your Gmail first, you set up your Google Plus profile from that, then you have to make sure that your YouTube channel is attached. All of that together is what enables you to do Hangouts, okay? So again, I'm going to go ahead and get started with some actual screen share, okay? And that way, I'm going to show you some results first, because I think if you really see some of the results I've gotten from applying the 7 strategies to the Hangouts that I do, doesn't matter whether it's one where there's a bunch of people in the windows or whether it's one like this, a training, a short one, you can actually get that ranked on page 1 of Google. So when I show you that, when I prove that to you, then I think you're going to be even more excited about learning how to set up Hangouts. So let me go ahead and do this screen share here and get us going. Now, the hardest thing about doing one like this by myself, where I'm the only person on here training, is I have to kind of go back and forth and make sure that you can see my page. But you should be able to see that now. I'm coming back up to the Google Hangout just to make sure. Yep, it's showing there on the screen. So, you know, when I was talking about introduce yourself via Google Hangout, well, I do want you to notice that I am not signed in, okay, to my Google account. You want to make sure when you're testing to see if this works and you're ranked on page 1 that you're actually not signed into your Google account. So right here, I just put in my keywords, okay, which were introducing yourself with Google Hangouts, all right? So look at this, right there at the top. And notice that it is above there, okay, above Google, where it's talking about introduce yourself. See, it just shows you right there, introduce yourself, Google. And there it is, ranking above. Now, notice right here that this says web. There's web and there's videos, images, news, all, etc. So if you want to see how you rank on the videos versus the web, then you can also look at that. So let's just go over here. And let me say this. This is on Safari right now. I also am going to go back to Chrome in a little bit when I actually take you in and show you how to set them up. It might rank just a little bit different, but in general, it's going to be the same. So let's go over here to videos. Okay. Now, you're going to see, now look at this. There it is right at the top again. And one of my strategies is setting up one that you haven't run yet. There it is. It was on the other one too. But look here. Today, Faith Bernard actually went in there and did her video, and there she is on page 1. Okay? And all she did was apply the 7 strategies that you're going to have instant access to. There's no cost for it. You see the link right there in the description. You can go to that link after this Hangout, and you can actually get instant access to the training video. Because what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to show you the results of the strategies, but I'm not going to go into all of those 7 strategies because the video that I offer you tells you that. What I'm going to cover is how important it is to learn to run Google Hangouts and why, and here's part of the why, because you can get rankings. Now, why is that important? Just think about this for a minute. It's important to me because I would rather have people calling me than me chasing people that might not be interested in what I'm sharing. I mean, doesn't that make sense? And most people are like that. If they know their product, if they know their service, they're great with talking with people about it. What they have trouble with is identifying and going out and finding people who are interested. So I just say to people, this is a great way. And the reason it's a great way, too, is it's free. Google Hangouts itself is free. Now, you're going to see some different systems and funnels that are paid systems, but you don't have to do that, okay? Because YouTube is free. So, very important to understand that. Now, let me just go over to another one here. Let me make sure it's still showing up there. Yep, it is. Okay, on this next one, this is Google Hangouts on page 1 of Google. Now, look at this one. Right here, mine's ranking #1 on the videos, and it searches, results are 21,500,000 for those terms. Okay, ranking #1. I'm not ranked #2. Somebody else is. Not #3, but there I am at #4. Now I'm #5. Yesterday I was #1, 4, and 6. So, I mean, just look at what's possible by actually just shooting little videos. Now, this one was a 17-minute one, and that was about Hangout events on page 1 of Google. This one right here was a 35-minute one. And here's the interesting thing about this one. 4 minutes and 52 seconds or something into this one, the sound went off. Can you imagine? You're ranking #1 on Google, and look, it says, for some reason, sound goes off at 4:52. But all I did is when people click on that page in YouTube, there's a link at the top and says, watch this here's the new link because the sound went off at 4:52. But hey, I'm not going to delete that because it's ranking high. So anyway, and this is that went up there 2 days ago, okay? 2 days ago. Okay, now this is what's interesting. Look at this one. This one right here, 29 minutes and 51 seconds, that's the one that replaced the 35-minute one where the sound went out. So anyway, both of those are ranking now, so it's not a bad thing. And then I put in some other key terms, branding and ranking with Google Hangouts, okay? So right there, #1, okay? #1 right there. #2, let me see here. Oh, #3, #4, let's see. Nope, somebody else is #5. Anyway, check that out. So now I'm going to go from web, and that's over 1 million results for those terms. I'm going to go to videos, and then you're going to see that there's almost 1 million there, and I'm ranking #1, #2, #3, #4. Let me see if there's any more down here. Oh, 5. There's another one down there, my branding with Google Hangouts. Oh, and then there's another one. I use the key terms, promote your brand with Google Hangouts. And then there's another one. There's the one about how to introduce yourself via Google Hangout. Now, how wild is that? Now, folks, this is only beginning at the beginning of April that I started doing this particular way. I had been tweaking it, working on it, you know. So, I mean, I just want you to see the results. Now, here's another one. I put in these terms. This is what's key to being a great internet marketer. 232 million results. There it is. #1. How cool is that? Let me go to videos. And look at this. Over 3 million under videos. These are ads right here. And there it is, #1. Okay, you know, and look at this, though. Let me just take this off. Let me take off what's key to being and just see what comes up with the shorter keywords. So let me just do that live here. Oh, there it is. Now look at that. And this is the one that I did originally, okay? Great internet marketer distinctions. I did them a couple different ways with keywords. So notice that even when I went there, and let me go back to the web and see what happens. Well, look at that. Look at that. Right there it is. Look at that. What's the key to being a great internet marketer? So even when I cut it down and took off what's the key to being, and just left in great internet marketer, and that's over 15 million results. So I hope that you're seeing. Let me see what else I got here. Okay. Right here, I've actually got up where this started. And that's showing you right there, okay? I put in a couple of things here letting you know that I was going to show you the results first, okay? It's showing you right there. And I put in a picture about getting answers, and I said, look, hope to get you some answers, put your questions in here, and then I give this link where if anybody wants to get in here at the end, you can. But anyway, here's what I want you to see too. Let me just go here. I want to show you just for a moment where you can go and find my blog at ghangoutmaven.com, and you can just see right here that there's some trainings right here that you can get on. This is my intro. This is a 30-minute hangout, excuse me, on how to, excuse me, time to take some water. And here you can catch on to my philosophy. If you want to get a free coaching session, that's a $350 value. You can get that. Anyway, that's my blog. Love to have you go there because this is brand new, you know. I'm excited about it. If you go here, that's the actual blog part. Take you over there. Again, it's going to go through and show you again some results, and there's some videos playing here. So this right here kind of shows you my introduction video that I was talking about later, and that's where I've taken this and actually put it in a particular introduction page. Okay, in other words, if I wanted to kind of frame it in something, I can do things like that. So let me go off that. That's enough of the results, I think. I really wanted you to see that. So I'm going to move that away, and I'm going to come back over here. See if I can't come back. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to screen share again, and I'm actually going to take you on and show you how to run these Hangouts now, because that's where it really gets exciting. We did the first part first, took a few minutes here to show you those results, but I think it's really important, because if you don't understand why it's so important to set up these Hangouts, now obviously on the private Hangouts and those kind of things you do, you're not going for the SEO juice. That's for another purpose totally. You know, you might have a particular group you're working with, and you want to gather them all together and share some information. You don't want any secret, top secret information. You don't want anybody else to know about it, and that's fine. But I'm talking now about the ones that can get you SEO juice, because that is primo. I mean, what you would have to pay to get that kind of coverage, I mean, I just can't even begin to tell you. If you all have spent any time in marketing, you probably realize that. So let me do another screen share over here. Just get back over here, screen share. Okay, let me see if this is the right one that I want to go to. Should be coming up on Chrome. So it looks like, oh, I might have gone back. Let me just see. Nope. Let me just see there. I want to make sure that I'm on the right one, because if you can't see, yeah, that should be Chrome right there. Okay. Yeah, right there, because it's running. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure. Okay, so here we go right here. I'm going to take you in here, and I'm going to actually go over here and show you the various ways to set up Hangouts. First of all, you see this button right here over to the right. This is an event page that you're seeing right now. And again, I'm going to go back. I'm going to make sure that's coming through in the Google Hangout. Yep, there it is. Okay, this page right here is the event page that we're on. And you can actually see that it's a picture right there. If I clicked on that, that would be running. Okay, so here's what happens. If you look over here, if you click here, you can actually immediately set up a Hangout. That's almost like a Skype chat. So if I clicked on that, okay, then I would just put in the person's name after I click on that. You see that little green dot right there. So that's just a quick way to do Hangouts. Now I'm going to take you over, and I'm going to click on the calendar, okay? And if you go to your calendar here, come up in just a second, then you can go, like I could go tomorrow, and I could just click on right there, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put in have a private Hangout. And I could put in anybody's email address, okay? So I could put coachb@dottieberry.com, and I could just add guest, okay? Add guest right there. So when I save this, it's going to ask me, now, do I want it to be sent to that person? Now look right here. Let me just bring this up bigger for you so you can see this. This is why I wanted to do it on Google. It's easier to see. Checking back on there. Okay, so right here, you click on Add Video Call. All right? Now it's been added. You also look at, do you want it public or private? Well, if I'm doing a private one, I'm going to click on Private. You can put, if you want an email reminder about it, a pop-up 30 minutes before, whatever. And you simply go here and you put what time you want it to be at. Okay? So if tomorrow's the 29th, then I click right there, and I go and I choose the time, and I might put 9 a.m. and I'm just going to put have a private hangout with team members, whatever that means to you. Okay, so that's all you would do. I got to spell it right. So all you would do and click on save. All right. So it says send invitations. Would you like to send invitations to guests? And I just put send. Okay. So now that is set up, and all I have to do when I actually want to go to it, and we're going to see it right there in my schedule, I click on it, and then I'm going to click on join the video call. Now, I can't actually go join it because I can't join a hangout while I'm in a hangout, okay? Can't do that. But I can show you exactly where you have to go to set this up, all right? So you're going to click on join video call, all right? And it'll put you into that. Now, I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to show you where to click on your Google Plus account, okay? Remember I said you have to have your Gmail hooked to your Google Plus account and then hooked to your YouTube channel. Now, that's a whole nother training, so we're not going to start at that level. We're just going to show you how to set up your Hangouts. So if I go here, I'm going to now be in my Google Plus, and I'm going to go down, and you're going to see right there is the one that's going on right now, okay? So I'm going to go here and put my mouse over this. I'm going to go to events. I'm going to show you how to set up an event. Now, as I said, in the past, you would actually have to do something different. Let me go over and show you what you would have had to have done first. You see where it says Hangouts right here? In the past, you would set up the event page, but the event page itself did not create a Hangout, okay? It's like the frame that held the Hangout. And you would have to click on Hangouts. And so this is what you do if you want to set up a live Hangout in the moment, okay, that's going to be recorded. But the thing about that is it didn't allow you to create a link like, let's say, days ahead of time. You could set up a Hangout days ahead of time in your calendar previously, but that was a private Hangout or public, but it was not a recorded one in that way. So right here, if I were going to set up a live Hangout in the past, I would have to click on Hangouts on Air, and then I would have to click on Start a Hangout on Air. Now, I'm not going to do that simply because I'm going to go and show you how to set up the live event Hangouts inside YouTube now that you can set up in advance, and it's going to be a very similar fashion to what we have here. Because if I say start a Hangout on air right now, it's going to tell me I'm already in a Hangout and I can't do that, okay? I am going to give you a way to know what that looks like there. If you go back to my blog page, ghangoutmaven.com, and those 3 videos that you see on that home page, if you click on the middle one, the 30-minute training, you will actually be able to see a video I did because I went into Camtasia Studio and recorded it, being able to show you that component that I can't show you while I'm on the Hangout, okay? So in the past, that's what we would do. And then 30 minutes or an hour beforehand, then we could go over to our event page and we could put the link in. But we couldn't do it days ahead of time. So this is what's so great now. This is what I'd really been looking for months, because we heard Google was coming out with it. And I was actually on with a colleague, Dennis Paul, owner of MIG, the other day. Great guy. And he said, it's here. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're kidding. I've been just hoping that would show up. So we went in and looked at how I could do that on YouTube. So I love to know that. So shout out to Dennis. But anyway, here's how you set up an event. You go and you set up event, just like that, create event. And so if you want to change the theme, you simply click on change theme. Now, the size of this picture has to be 1200 wide by 300 high, Okay, so I'm going to click on this right here, and it just so happens I already have some photos in here that are that size. So I'm going to actually get one and click on it. Okay, so you already know what the one looks like that of the event that you're in right now. So I'm just going to click on another one here, and this is a community of entrepreneurs that I work with. It's called To Connect, and so I'm just going to grab that one, and I'm going to set it as the theme, and it's already the correct size. So now you see that that goes in there. If it weren't the correct size, it would tell me that it doesn't work. So event title, I'm going to just put this is a test for Google Hangout training. All right, so when I'm doing these though, I actually utilize the strategies, the 7 strategies that you're going to be able to get in that free video of the link that's in the description there. But for right now, I'm just going to make it simple and just put in something for the purpose of this Hangout. Now, I can choose the date, okay, and I can just open it up. I could click on the 30th, okay. I could click on the time, 7 o'clock. I don't have to put an end time. Location, I could put on online, okay. Now, you're going to see event options over here. So I'm going to click on event options, okay, and you can check or uncheck. Guests can invite other people. I'm going to leave that on. Guests can add photos. I'll leave that on. That's up to you. But the photos and all add engagement, and guests being able to invite other people is a good thing. So then I'm going to click on advanced, okay, and now you're going to see Hangouts, and now I'm going to click on show more options, because when I show more options, just notice here that I can now put in the details, and I'm going to put these are the details for doing or I'll put for running Google Hangouts. In other words, whatever your description is, you put it in there. Now you can use a website link. If you have ticket seller information, you can put it there. Right here it says YouTube URL. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to show you now in just a moment how to set up those live event Hangouts over in YouTube. Because see, when I was showing you how to set up Hangouts here in the calendar, or the first thing I showed you where you could just click on that button and just add somebody in for like a quick chat Hangout, like a Skype thing, or a live Hangout, you do that here on Google. For what I'm going to show you, you actually go into your YouTube account. So right now, I don't have that set up. And again, this is very, very important, because in the past, the link I would come over and put in my event page. Again, the event page is not the Hangout itself. It's just the frame for your event. But in the past, I would have to get those live Hangouts, you know, 30 minutes or an hour ahead of time. And after I set that up, I would have to bring the link over and put in here. Okay? Now, I'm not going to have to do that. So if I just put 2, I could just put it to myself. Okay, should have put in there. Okay, let me put it in there again. For some reason, it doesn't want to go in there. See if I can get it in there again. There we go. All right, now it's stuck. Okay, so we put that in there, and then I'm just going to click on invite. Okay. Now, when I do that, you're going to see now that I have created an event page. I still don't have, think about it, I still don't have my link in there for the actual event that's going to take place. All I have is the event page. This is a frame, okay, and it says this is a test for Google Hangout training. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to my YouTube channel, all right? Now, I just want to make sure this is still showing in my Hangouts here. Yes, I see that it is. Okay, I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm in my dashboard, Video Manager, okay? So you're going to see a bunch of uploads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Live Events. Again, look how this is different. I'm not over in Google where I normally would set up a live hangout at the last moment, 30 minutes or an hour ahead of time, and then have to go put it in my event. And the thing that was hard about that in the past was, let's say I was going to do 2 back-to-back hangouts. Well, I was scrambling, you know, I'd finish up one and then have to do another one, because lots of times on Saturdays I do that at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time and then 11 o'clock. And I would have to finish that one up and then go set up a new one and get the code over. And it's just like scramble time. Man, this is so much more relaxing. Like even with this one, I set this one up on the 20th of April, right here. Okay, so I go to Live Events. So this one right here, you see, that's where I had set it up, how to run Google Hangouts, okay? Now, I'm going to click here, New Live Event. Now, let me just make sure that's going up. Okay, here we go. New Live Event. Okay, so I'm going to click on that right there. I'm going to bring up a page, and it lets me have a title. Okay, I'm going to say, this is the training for how to run Google Hangouts. I'm just typing in so you can see what you do. So when do you want to run that? I think I set it up for the 30th, 7 p.m. Okay, I put it in there. I put in the description. This is about how to run Google Hangouts, or whatever your description is, okay? Now, over here is where you can make it public, unlisted, or private, all right? So I'm not going to go into, the differences in unlisted and private and public. You can look that up. I want to keep this not too terribly long. That's another training on that. But anyway, if you're going to have it public, then you might, yes, want to do your tags. So let's just say I was doing this. But again, if I were doing this, I would go back and I would use my 7 strategies, okay? I would set it up exactly that way, but this is not a training on the 7 strategies. I'm going to give you access to those 7 strategies, and I started out by showing you the power of those strategies in getting your live Hangouts ranked, but I'm actually showing you now how to set up the Hangouts, how to set up the pages, okay, the event pages. So once I get everything in there that I want, okay, add end time if you want it, then I'm going to create the event. So now you're going to see that there's an event that's going to be available, okay, and it says right there, all right, it says right there on the 30th. Now see, this is one I actually have set up. I'm going to be speaking in Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to anybody in that area. We're going to be having an event with a big group of entrepreneurs called To Connect. Love to have you join us. I'll be presenting there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a hangout at lunch and ask people for their input on how they think the morning session went. So that's what you want to do. You're at events, you can run live hangouts. So anyway, this one right here is the one I just set up, okay? I don't want to start it, okay? I don't want to do that, but I want to click on it, because what do I need right now? I need that URL. So I'm going to click on it, and again, I've got it public. You can see that right there. So I'm going to click on it, and now when I click on it, okay, I'm going to go up here to the top. Now notice that it tells me how long to be standing by. I'm going to go up here to the top, and I'm going to copy that URL, and I'm going to take it back to Google and put it in the event page. Now, right here, if you haven't applied the 7 strategies, you can initially set it up, and you can go back in there and edit that, and I would highly recommend that you do that, because if you want to start ranking on page 1 of Google, I mean, folks, it's doable. I just showed you at the beginning of this hangout all the results. And I mean, that's not even all of them. You know, I've been doing ones like, you know, what's the difference between a teacher, a coach, and a mentor? You know, all kinds of things. If you want to know what's a good kind of little hangouts you could create, if you blog or if you watch other people blog, look and see what people are blogging about, and then make a 3-minute video on your take on what you heard, and then get that ranked with keywords on YouTube. Folks, I'm telling you, it really does work. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that link now, and I'm going to go back here. Now look, I'm going to edit the event. Edit the event, all right? Because I've got to go back to my options. I click on event options. I click on advanced. I'm trying to talk you through this just in case you can't see it if it's a little small there sometimes. And I'm going to put that URL right in there. Look at that. And I'm going to save it. Now look what happened. Now it's going to tell me how long until that begins. Now this is something, again, that's really exciting because I've been waiting for months and months for this to happen so I could set things up ahead of time. I mean, think about it now. I can go set up Saturday Hangouts at 10 and 11, and my team members can do that too, the team of entrepreneurs that I'm working with. We don't have to scramble so much anymore. This is amazing. And again, this event page is our frame that we put the link in. Now, I'm not going to leave that page up except for the purpose of this video and the Hangout, and it's recording it so it would show it. But if I want to delete that, then you see where it says details right here? Then that's what I would click on, details, and I would click on delete this event. Now, since that's not a real event, it's just something that I was showing you as a test for this Google Hangout training, I'm going to go ahead and delete that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Delete the event, because, you know, sometimes people go, how do I get rid of these things? I made a mistake. It's okay, just delete it right there. So that one's deleted now. So we're still on our pages. I'm going over here. Yep, you can see what I'm working on with the Google Hangout. I'm still on this page. Now, one more thing I want to show you real quick. When I was showing you some of those ones that got ranked, one of the things I do is I go in, and it's one of my 7 strategies, and I actually repurpose, okay? So I'm going to go over here to Video Manager. And this one right here, seriously, this one right here, I repurposed that. What does that mean? That means that I took the original, okay? I took the original little training, and it was only, let me turn myself off. It was only 5 minutes and a half, okay? And I actually took that and I changed it from the original one. Look at that, published on the 28th. And the way I did that is I go here to enhancements. And I actually, now think about this. I took the original one, went over here to enhancements. I'm going to do it again. In fact, I like it so much. I'm just going to stop that right there. And, you know, the color looks, you know, pretty okay. You can change it right there with the color, okay? And what you do is you click on trim, okay? You click on trim. I'm going to stop that right there. Now, you see that it says 0.4 of a second. That's because this is the one that I created from the original. So I'm going to go to this little arrow right here, and I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to trim some more off. Now, you see that? It now says 0.8. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm not going to just save it now. I'm going to do a save as. I'm going to do a save as, all right? And now I am repurposing this video. So look at that, it's processing. But I'm going to click on here because I want to change my keywords up just a little bit. So I might I might go here and go, how can you be a great internet marketer? Or, you know, if somebody was typing it in, they might put, how can I be a great internet marketer? Okay, so think about how people search for things. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to say, how can I be a great internet marketer? And one of the strategies is to actually have this same name in there twice. And so if you have real long words, you might not be able to get it all in there twice. But this looks like it's going to. How can I be a great internet marketer? Now, again, see, it took it. If it was too long, it would tell me. So I put it in there twice. Now, if it would not take it, it would let me know. All right. Now, another one of my strategies, and again, get those 7 strategies, because not only when you see the video, I have a written PDF with them all written out, and it'll be easy for you that way. You know, you hear things, but when you can see them in writing, it's a lot better. And also in that PDF that you'll find, you also are able to get a couple more bonuses. One of them is a free list of the top 100 plus forums for internet marketers. Now, I say internet marketers because that's what most people call it, but I call it integration marketing. I am integration marketing because it's integrating all the components. But anyway, you're going to get that, and you're also going to get a free YouTube plugin for your blog. Now, folks, that's great because it's normally $99, and the great thing about that is it'll automatically pull in your YouTube videos to your blog. See, what we normally had to do, we had to come over here, we had to share, get the embed code, go back to the blog, put it in, come back, get the description, get the title. Oh my goodness, it was too labor intensive. So now, that extra bonus that's in that PDF I'm talking about with my strategies, you can get that for free. It won't cost you $99. Anyway, back to this. So now what I do, one of my strategies is to actually put the keywords in here 3 times. So I'm going to change this, and I'm going to go take out that, and I'm just going to go, how can I be a great internet marketer? Now right here, my link is to my strategies with that video I'm talking about. So then I'm going to change here, what makes a great internet marketer? I'm going to change it to, what would you and I have to do to be what? A great internet marketer. That's my second time. Now, then I've got it here in the other one. Have you ever wondered what's the key to being a great internet marketer? Have you ever wished or dreamed saying to yourself, what am I going to put? How can I be a great internet marketer? Okay, that's 3 times. And so I put Coach B offers her insights and some key distinctions. Don't you think it's time to discover an easy strategy for being a great internet marketer? Oops, I got to type it right. Anyway, you know, I've already got it in there 3 times, marketer. And what I have right here is I have my Facebook, I have my blog, and how people can book me and get to me for help. So, you know, then I'm going to save that, okay? Now, again, this is all part of my strategies. And when I go over here, I go ahead and start getting in my keywords. They're already in there, but they're not the right ones now because I had it different, okay? So I have to go back and make sure that it is the right ones because, see, these are all for the other video and the keywords. So I'm going to take all that out. Now, I'm not going to show you how to go through this part because I want you to go get that video and learn Exactly what you have to do at this point. So anyway, I'm just going to save it for now. I'll finish that up later. And then there will be, once that's finished, then there will be another process that I do. But again, it's all a part of those strategies. Anyway, these are the things that I wanted to really share with you tonight. Basically, I wanted to talk about the purpose of the Hangouts. Well, that depends on you, okay? You can, again, have it as a training. You can deliver information by having a bunch of people talking about it, or you can introduce yourself, and so that you can introduce your product, your service, your passion, your nonprofit, whatever you want to do, get together and hang out. I know one of my former players, Valerie Steele, she was on a TV show on Oprah, a reality show called Mom's Got Game. And so I did a hangout with the whole cast of Mom's Got Game. That was fun. So there's all kind of fun things that you can do. And again, how are they run? They can be private, okay? They can be hangouts on air, live to the public. And this newest part that I showed you by coming over here on YouTube, setting up your live events, public, private, unlisted beforehand. Make sure that you have your Gmail, your Google Plus, and your YouTube all connected. Now, here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go back over here. I don't know if there's anybody over here that wants to get on and ask any questions, but I'd certainly be glad to answer any of them. What I'm going to have to do is go back and sort of see. Let me just get off of this first. So you can see that that video is still processing. Let me get back over here. So what I've done is I've put the link actually over there. And I'm just going to go over here 1 second. And I'm going to see if there's anybody over here that is there that wants to get on and say anything. Here's the link to participate. Join me and ask your questions. I mean, I like to make that there for people. And I see there's Faith Bernard. Hey, Faith, come on if you see that link and you want to come on. Because, you know, it was so cool today that Faith, you know, did her introduction video. And so, listen, go over there and just Google introducing yourself via Hangouts, you know, and check out Faith's introduction video. She's an amazing I mean, long time person in the industry, 35 years in direct sales, network marketing, all kinds of marketing. She's amazing. So go over there and check Faith out. So anyway, I just want to give people now, let me just see if there's any questions. I'm scrolling through the event page to see if anybody's got a question here. So if you do, please put that there. And I'll be glad to answer it if there's anything that you feel like you wanted to know that you didn't get answered. And again, if you want to click on that link right there, I'd be glad to have you come on and, you know, just say hello, ask any questions that you have. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going back and forth here to the page to see if there's any questions here. So, hey, maybe we answered everything for folks. And you know, one thing I want to say, and thank you, Faith. She said, great job, Dottie. One of the things I do want to say is don't concern yourself with how many people are on it at the time, because you're really missing the point if you're doing a training. We know that when we're doing training, there's so many trainings going on all the time. Somebody might not be able to get to your training live. But this is the beauty of recording it and have it. I mean, folks, within 5 minutes now, within 5 minutes, this training is going to be live. Evergreen, think about it, evergreen forever on YouTube. And that's going to give me SEO juice forever and ever and ever. So you want to make sure that you're doing these. Introduction ones, you can keep them anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes to 5 minutes, maybe no longer than 10 if you're doing a bio one, okay? Just a little feedback there. If you're doing hangouts like this where you're training, sometimes you're going to go an hour because you're getting into the meat, the details, the nitty gritty. If you're doing something like, what's the difference between a teacher, a coach, and a mentor? You might go up to 5 minutes or so, something like that. But one of my goals is to put out something every day, like a gold nugget from Coach B. And I'll tell you the truth, I used to do audios a lot. But guess what? That audio doesn't get any SEO juice. So now I'm really trying to, Monday through Friday, offer a little something. Maybe it's just something I observe on Facebook or on Google or on LinkedIn. I'm actually going to put one about how to request friendships on Facebook. That's going to be a little one I'm going to do. Because, you have to be really careful. Like if somebody comes and gives me a message and says, please send me a friend request in a private message, I go, hey, I would love to, but you came and asked me for my friendship, so would you please do the request? Because, see, here's what happens. You have to be aware. If you ask for friendship from too many people that you don't know, you could end up in Facebook prison. So that's why I'm not trying to be ugly, I tell people, but, since you came and requested it from me and in a private message, why don't you go and request my friendship? Anyway, just a little tidbit there. So if there's nobody that's going to come on and ask questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this up because we're just prior to the hour. So I hope that was helpful. Again, the results don't lie. A picture is worth 1,000 words. We started off with that. Seeing, oh, somebody's there. So would you please do the request?
Hi.
See, here's what happens. You have to be aware. If you ask for friendship, hey Gloria, you're going to have to turn off your background one you're watching. So that's why I'm not trying to be ugly.
Turn on people, what?
Because you've got it running in the background. Message. Okay. Why don't you go request? You're going to have to shut it off because you're participating now. You got it?
Okay.
Hey,
I got it.
I'm glad you came on because you're having some great success with applying my strategy. So tell us, what are you doing?
Okay. I want to tell you one thing. When you click on the link, it didn't work, so I copied and pasted it in. That's why I had to go to another browser. Anyway, but yes, I'm really excited because every day I have a little hangout on different subjects. A lot of it's been about the law of attraction. And almost immediately, I'm on the front page. The first time I did it, I was way at the bottom, but I was still thrilled. And since then, I've got like the top placement, #1, or sometimes #5, or sometimes in 2 places. And it's really a lot of fun and very exciting. So I've been doing it every day. Sometimes I do, like a series over 3 days about the same subject.
Yeah.
And that works really well. In fact, I had someone say that they want to show me on their page, because they have a page about the law of attraction, so I thought
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Just think about that. Maybe they'll embed your video on there, or maybe they'll interview you. You know what you could do too, Gloria? You could say to them, hey, why don't you come on a hangout one day with me and talk about how you saw this, and let's show, and give them some value. Say, let's show your page. What I find is as we give value to people out there, it's amazing what begins to happen as they come into our space. And that's all we want to do is give them some value.
That's a fabulous idea. Thank you for that. You've given a great deal of value, obviously, for a lot of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. And you just made me think of something. This is what's good because ideas get triggered. I'm thinking, maybe I'll start having a theme a week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll do Jim Rohn quotes that are favorites of mine. And but again, we can just do little things by ourselves. We can engage other people, and of course, we use a combination of that. And even this training tonight, you really helped me out, Gloria, because this is what I said in the beginning. This is like a combo. It's going to be a training, but then I'm going to offer somebody the link if they want to get on. They can do that. Now, let me add, is there anything that you have a question about that you didn't understand that I was going over?
No, but I think I have to do it myself because I didn't know that thing about the event now coming from YouTube.
Yep.
And I noticed that there were, like, a couple days, I guess this week, I noticed there were changes. I wasn't able to do things just like I was able to do them before, you know, slight changes. So I had to find my way around how to get back to that. And I really like the way now that event is. I'll test it out. I'm going to, you know, after this thing, I'm going to, mine's usually 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to set one up that way and see how it works.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's what's great about it, Gloria. Imagine that you go ahead and pre-set up your Hangouts for all week inside your YouTube channel, and then when it's time, all you have to do is go in there and click the start button. And think about this now. If you set up an event page, okay, then you could have a general event page that you use all the time, and all you do each day is go in there and change your Hangout link or whatever. You know, I mean, there's different things you can keep editing it. Anyway, you know, it's just, I don't know, there's all kinds of things we can do, and I love when people start getting creative. That's the whole idea. So thanks for jumping on here for a moment, and we're going to go ahead and end it up then, and I'll certainly see you on our morning Hangout tomorrow, okay?
Okay, good.
Thank you, Gloria. And thanks, everybody, for just kind of giving your time tonight and coming and, I don't know, hopefully discovering. I'm sure there's a lot of you that knew things that we were showing, but maybe you learned a little something new. I love that YouTube part where you can preset those events. I mean, that's killer. I've been waiting on that for months and months, and I kept hearing Google say it's coming, it's coming. So finally, you know, with technology, I tell people, look, there's not going to be a day in your life from here on out, if you're living, that you're not going to encounter technology. Better get used to it. And if you think you can avoid it, the reality is you can't. And if something goes wrong, Gloria, we have this favorite saying, don't we? Just do it unattached to a specific outcome, because otherwise we drive ourselves crazy with disappointment and getting upset. And, you know, if the technology doesn't work one day and you think you're going to solve that issue by going somewhere else, you usually just encounter another issue with technology. So sit back, breathe deep, relax, enjoy the process. And, Gloria, I look forward to seeing how that comes out for you. And on our Hangout we'll be on together, our private Hangout, if you have any questions after you do that in the morning, just let me know, okay?
I will, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.